Good morning, everybody. How's CES going? Oh, no?
Hello.
Got me? Perfect. Hello, good morning. How's CES? Everybody enjoying Vegas? Yeah? Great, great, great. My name is Jeff Shaivitz. I am with Ben Labs. We do brand integrations into influencer, product placement, and music videos. This is Ivonne Kinser with Avocados from Mexico. Excited to be here with you guys today. As I was thinking about this panel and what I was going to talk about, I was thinking about consumer electronics and avocados, match made in heaven. So that said, Ivonne, I would love to learn more about what brings you to CES, what you want to get out of the conference, and how Avocados from Mexico really fits into the overall theme of consumer electronics.
Yeah, and I got here last night. I went to the show really quickly this morning. I came back like energized with all the things that I saw in like an hour that I was there before coming here. But why Avocados from Mexico and CES and technology? Before I became like the head of marketing and over brand and TV and digital and all the other channels, I started in Avocados from Mexico about 8.5 years ago, building the digital practice for the company. So have been doing digital marketing for 20 years. So I can say that I'm a digital native in terms of marketing, and technology always has been part of how a piece that I think of when I'm planning the marketing strategies and the marketing activations and the way that we communicate with the consumers. So Avocados from Mexico has been recognized in the industry for being very bold, innovative, disruptive, and the most important thing is that is because we have integrated always a piece of technology to make our activations more relevant for consumers. We have been, especially during the Super Bowl, we have a great big Super Bowl campaign on TV and digital, and Super Bowl has become some sort of our innovation playground. So we have played with anything from IBM, Watson technology into our Super Bowl activation. We were the first brand to use blockchain technology in one marketing activation. So a lot of those ideas and a lot of those partners came from my visit to CES. That this is like my 10th year coming here.
That's awesome. Appreciate that insight. So you mentioned the Super Bowl. I believe Avocado from Mexico has taken part in 8 of the last 10 Super Bowls I saw, correct?
Yes.
So tell me about that process. You know, it's a big moment for a brand. What goes into planning for a Super Bowl spot and everything that goes that surrounds that and goes into making that spot?
Yeah, well, this year is especially exciting for me because when I took over the marketing operation 2 years ago, I inherited the script that we had last year. And I ran with it. But this year is the first year that I can tell that I had influence over that script. Of course, I may be a little bit biased, but I think that is going to be the best Super Bowl spot that you have seen from Avocados from Mexico. We work with an amazing director that I cannot release the name, but is, in my opinion, the best Super Bowl director in the industry, and you will know who he is when we release the news. I mean, it's such a big news that we're holding it to release it later. And also, you know, we are working also for first year with the same creative agency is building the digital idea, the digital activation, and the TV activation, and of course our media agency Havas, which is here joining me, is the agency that I have been with us from the very beginning, from when the brand started. So the amazing team that is behind this, the creation of from the media buy all the way through the creation of the concept team of the idea to the execution and the production is just, I think we're pushing the envelopes of creativity this year.
That's exciting. Can't wait to see it. Can you give me any spoiler alerts about what the spot is going to be about?
So it's going to be about avocados from Mexico making everything better.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes.
So in a big, epic way. So one of the things that we have a little bit of challenge communicating is that construct that you have a situation that may not be that great, and then avocado from Mexico enters as the hero, and that situation gets better. So we double down this year, and we're making a very iconic situation better in a way that has never been done in the Super Bowl creatively. So I'm not afraid to be raising expectations too high, because it's going to be like absolutely epic.
That's awesome. Can't wait to see it. So an epic Super Bowl spot, a lot of time, money, resources go into something like that. In addition to the actual spot, what type of activities and activations take place around the Super Bowl in that spot to support that you guys do from Avocados from Mexico?
Yeah, I was telling you before that when you see everything that we put around, you imagine this huge brand with that huge budget and deep pockets, and there's nothing farther from reality. We're just very, very scrappy and very, very conscious about where we put our dollars. And one of the things that we're doing is we don't do anything because it's cool, even though everything that we do is very cool. One of the things that we're doing this year, for example, is creating more dimensions of our brand. So we develop, and I bet everybody here knows the avocado from Mexico jingle. I can bet you a dinner tomorrow in the most expensive restaurant in Vegas.
We were talking about that last night, actually.
Yeah. So we knew the power from the brand perspective as a brand element that the jingle has. So what we did is that we deconstruct that jingle into riffs and notes and melodies, and took those ingredients and integrated into anything that we have that has a sound, including our Super Bowl theme that you're going to listen to in the spot. So that's one of the things that we are doing this year, because also then on the digital side, we're creating, using technology, different kind of technologies to allow consumers to actually experiment with that avocado from Mexico sonic DNA. So they not only can hear about it, but they can actually build their own interpretation of that sound.
That's great. Can't wait to see it. Speaking of Super Bowls, there's not an actual Super Bowl party without guacamole, which
That's
makes
true.
that is true. So I eat avocados all the time. I just told you that my daughter's first food was avocado, so it's near and dear to my heart. What makes an avocado from Mexico better from all the other avocados out there?
Yeah, I love that question. Thank you for asking that.
Of course.
So there's one thing that is very interesting, and beyond interesting, is magical, and is that Mexico is the only place on earth where the avocado tree has 4 blooms. So that's why they are not seasonal. They are always available. And but also, when you talk about the conditions of the climate and the soil, the volcanic soil, and everything that is around that growing avocados makes the avocado from Mexico creamier and more flavorful. So even though it could be a commodity, are very unique. And in reality, not only we're building a brand that differentiates them, but the product is also unique and different, and again, a higher quality.
Sure. Good to know. So what's the hardest part of your job with marketing avocados from Mexico?
Oh gosh, that's a really difficult question, because it's so much fun. Let me tell you a little story. 8.5 years ago, when they contacted me from Avocados from Mexico before the first Super Bowl, I didn't know that brand. And the recruiter contacted me like, are you interested in talking to them? And I like, no, what's that? So I didn't even know, and I didn't even imagine that a product could be so much fun to market, especially when there was not a precedent. There was no like, this is the way we have done it in the past, because the company didn't exist. So it has been really a fun ride where we have been able to experiment and really becoming a benchmark in digital benchmark, especially in the industry. So the hard thing about it is just not having a budget large enough so we can just do anything that we can potentially do with such a wonderful product and such a wonderful brand.
Good to know. So it's a new year, 2023. Looking at the landscape of what's happening and thinking about what your priorities are for 2023, what does this year mean for Avocados of Mexico? What are you trying to do, and what would be a win as you get into the back half of this year?
You know, I have been reflecting a lot about that, and especially as we go through planning process for our next fiscal year. A lot of the experience that I live here, the people that I talk to, you guys, the conference that I attend, like this one, it just give you a very good understanding of what we should go and where we are going. And one of the things that aligns my vision to of what I want to do and what I have perceived in this show this year is that there's more meaningful innovation. So if you remember, like years ago when we came to CES, it's like there's a lot of cool stuff. This is cool, this is super cool. But what I'm seeing right now in the hour to a couple of hours that I spent this morning, and I really pay attention and reading what is going on, is that it's not only the cool factor, and I think this comes a lot after the pandemic, it's more meaningful innovation that matters. And you see this, for example, in robotics. You see now that robotics, they are still cool, but are more, they have a purpose. So there's like categories of the caretakers robots or utility robots. So that's just an example. Digital health is the fundamental difference is that right now what we need to do is to leverage technology to solve problems instead of just to make things cooler or more entertaining. So that solving problem capability of technology, I think that is clearer this year to me than ever before. And this is also the purpose that I have for my own organization and brand.
That's awesome. Appreciate that insight. Any questions from the audience?
So I'm a big fan of Avocados from Mexico.
Right.
Obviously, it's quite a crowded space, and I wonder how you're using perhaps influencer marketing or even traditional product placement approach to continue to build relevancy for your brand and awareness for your brand to displace your competitors.
Yeah, so, you know, for years, I was paying attention to the influencers industry because there's a lot, and you can classify them in multiple ways. I think that one thing that we did and in the past years and we still do is just to finding influencers that really are relevant to our consumers and that genuinely are a good fit for our brand, regardless of the reach or any metric that they can make better for us. If it's not relevant and if it's not authentic, it just doesn't work for us. One thing that we have been very successful about is recruiting brand ambassadors, which is consumers that may have 200 followers or 300 followers, but we have 100,000 of those that really, really believe in the brand and want to put their networks at the disposition of the brand to communicate our message. So I think that the genuine part of an influencer for us is more important than any reach they can have. When you bring them all together, they become even more powerful than a celebrity.
That's great. Any other questions from the audience? Doesn't look like it. Well, thank you so much, Ivonne. I enjoyed our conversation.
Thank
and
you.
Enjoy the rest of your CES.
Thank you. Likewise for all of you.